3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have the legendary Antonio Fargas on the line from one of my favorite movies, all of my favorite movies, 110th Street, and I'm Gonna Get You Sucker as the fly guy, and man, I'm just honored. How you doing this morning, sir?
Wonderful, wonderful. I just got back from Philadelphia. I was joining some folks who have Moses Powell was a legend in karate and an African American who achieved a whole lot, and he had a style and he has a tradition and a family that has grown in Philadelphia, and a style of karate that's well respected. And I was honored to, because he did some things in film that they chose me to participate with them. And this is the second time I've done that, and it was a wonderful event. And now I'm home and just enjoying my afternoon here in Las Vegas, and on the line with you.
Oh man, you know, I'm always looking at one of your movies. Like I said, I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, when you were a fly guy, walking with those fish tank platforms on. Oh my God. And your acting though, it goes from comedy to like serious roles, and you were even somebody's dad on All My Children.
Yeah, and a grandfather type on Everybody Hates Chris.
On Everybody Hates Chris, and you know we love that. Now,
yeah, I've been very, very fortunate to have a variety of experiences in this business for over 54 years, and you know, and playing characters that represent us as the people on all sides, and it's just been I've been truly blessed to have the career that I've had, and now had a new start to my career with music that's come into my life, with the band that I put together with a friend called the New Jump Blues.
That's what I was just gonna ask you about. Like, I went and watched that. I watched a few clips, and I was highly entertained. And I think it's amazing how you just branch out to different entities of entertainment. That show you guys have is off the hook. It's classic, it's energetic, it's well dressed, vocals on point, big band swinging. Tell us about that.
Well, it's the brainchild of my friend Jimmy Maslin and I. We always wanted to find music. He always had music in his life, but since we've been friends, he knew that how much I love music, all genres of music, because I come from my family's from the Caribbean, so I had Caribbean music, I had jazz music. I just have an appreciation for the art, for music and the purveyors of it, singers and musicians. And it was just the one thing that was sort of missing in my experience, in my career. And now that I have a CD and a band that reflects a style and has character, and we just have a wonderful, wonderful celebratory time every time we go out there on stage. And I'm working with some young singers too, so I'm still shouldering my responsibility of helping and building and creating new memories for my legacy. And the New Jump Blues has just fulfilled that, and it just seems like a natural progression to put a sort of the cherry on the cake of my experience.
Yeah, you know, some of my favorite songs are Rum and Coke. They're my new favorites. Rum and Coke, Sugar Bum Bum, and the Mambo Cut.
Well, I see you have a little Caribbean flavor there in yourself, or at least appreciation.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, some blues has a cuts across many dynamics. It cuts across blues, it cuts across the Caribbean, and of course it cuts across jazz. I consider myself like Louis Prima. I don't know if you know Louis Prima, and Keely Smith. They had this act that they did in Vegas and around the world. I even saw them on the Ed Sullivan Show. And then also reminiscent of my character or my role in the band is sort of like Louis Prima, Ike Turner, and also my friend and music pioneer Flavor Flav.
Oh, so shout out to Flav.
I have all those things going for me when I'm on stage, so I'm well armed when I go out there because I know whose shoulders I stand on. So I just go out there and have fun. Being the foil for Ariel, who's the female singer in the band, and we just have a wonderful time with a great bunch of musicians that we found in Los Angeles, guys who play all the time and who can play all kinds of music and who are working, as I said, working all the time.
Right. And
we just have a winning combination that culminated this last summer in playing at the Playboy Jazz Festival at the Hollywood Bowl in Los Angeles. And I never thought that I would be on that stage facing out and looking at that sea of people and being in a musical situation. So
well, the show definitely brings it, and you guys have had some really serious gigs, and like Playboy Mansion and the West Coast Jazz Festival and the Hollywood Bowl, as you mentioned. But it is, in comparison to a large-scale Vegas show, have you guys considered blowing up the stage out there?
Well, since I live here, I tread cautiously,
Gotcha.
But I know eventually we'll get a chance to have a gig here. But we're still in the process of building and getting better and stronger, because when you bring it to a place like Las Vegas, you have to have it all. You have to have it going on, and so I'm always on the cautious side, because I think I never stop learning, I never stop growing, and I think that's what's helped me, achieve some of the things that I've got, because I never take anything for granted.
Right.
So yes, we'd love to play here. I'd love to play the Playboy Jazz, the Newport Jazz Festival, and some of the other jazz festivals, and possibly even go to Europe. But that's all in the future. And then one of my dreams is to be the musical guest on Saturday Night Live.
All right.
That would be a culmination of a dream.
Well, you put it in the air, so I'm sure it's coming.
Yes. That does answer prayer.
For sure. Now, you've been doing this for over 40 years, entertaining, and that means that you've been through some changes and watched the game change. How have you maintained from coming from a blaxploitation actor into Hollywood kind of changing over? Now we have like the Tyler Perrys and the Hudlins and whatnot. How did in the Wayans, of course? How did you transfer and keep yourself afloat?
I realized today that it's a spiritual journey. Yes, I had doubts sometimes, but I always seemed to work. I always seemed to find a place that appreciated what I brought to the table. And it started with in film, and it also started in New York in the theater where I was born, and then culminated on television with Starsky and Hutch and All My Children. So it's just by getting a reputation of an actor who takes chances, an actor who's not afraid to go into character. I don't care if it's Car Wash or Next Stop Greenwich Village, where I played gay roles. Nothing has been off the table for me, and I think that's helped me sustain.
Mm-hmm. And
there's getting a reputation of being able to deliver, so that when a certain kind of role came up, people automatically, I guess, started thinking of me. And then when, as I built that reputation, young men like Will Smith and Martin and Chris Rock, who understand whose shoulders they stand on, all were able to, give me jobs on their shows because they appreciated and wanted to say thank you. And so that's the kind of legacy that pays paid big returns when you're just a giving kind of actor and a giving human being. I just feel very fortunate, to be in the position that I'm in today and to be smiling after 54 years in the business.
Right, right. As far as finances, what tips do you have for young entertainers and entertainers of all ages coming into the game and getting some steady checks? How should they focus and manage?
Well, I mean, there's so many examples of the wrong things to do, and I don't care if you're an athlete or an entertainer, you see it, but I also feel like I have to give, by leading by example, by knowing that it was only by the grace of God that I have what I have today. And but at the same time, I have to give them the dignity of, and sometimes the best lessons are the ones you learn by the mistakes that you make. So people are going to make mistakes, but if they truly have a spiritual spine and develop a spiritual spine as quickly as possible to realize that it's not just because they're talented, it's also somebody else is in charge of their life. Now, that's easy to say, and I don't know if I even would have heard that, because I think I earned it by making those mistakes and being blessed. So it's hard to say. All I can say is if they're listening to what I'm saying today, is that you have to, I feel, the best way to do that is to develop a spiritual spine and trust somebody. Trust somebody to tell you the truth. And sometimes managers and agents and the people who are the 10%ers, and the business managers don't always tell you the truth, because they don't want to tell you no, so that they would be replaced. So it's a difficult position to be in when you come from, like me, who came from a lower middle class family in New York. So all of a sudden having things that you didn't think you could dream of, but didn't think you could have, and then being able to manage that. And so it takes a lot. It takes a lot of you gotta let people help you, but at the same time, like I said, tell you the truth.
Right on, right on. Is the new Jump Blues going to be coming to the Bay Area?
We hope so. We hope so. We don't have anything lined up at the moment except a TV gig that we're working on and can't talk about right now. Okay. And then we're going to see what the spring season allows, because of my schedule, the things that I do, it has to fit into the pocket. Right. And so as my workload eases up, and also as the new Jump Blues demand starts to pick up as well, and I think by letting people know about it, and that's why I'm happy to do interviews to talk about not only what I did before, but what I'm doing now, so that people will understand how they can reach through the electronic media, through Facebook, and also YouTube and Twitter, and all those things that we need to get the word out around the world. Because I have fans around the world who would want to know about what Antonio Fargas is doing right now. So I'm just pleased to be to joining that electronic or internet age and social media age with something that I think is very special.
Out of all your roles, what are some of your favorites or some game changers for you?
I don't know. I think it's a hindsight to say that I'm Gonna Get You Sucker was a game changer. The Wayans brothers were big fans of mine, and thought of me when they thought about the character Fly Guy. Of course, Starsky and Hutch Huggy Bear was a game changer, and I did a film called Across 110th Street, and the guy who directed that, his name was Barry Shear, turned me on to Spelling and Goldberg because he thought that I would be perfect for playing that role, and it was just a small character role. Let's see. Then, of course, Car Wash with Michael Schultz. I worked with Michael Schultz on a play called Dream on Monkey Mountain back in New York and also in L.A. and then he was influential in casting me as Lindy, because he also knew that I was a chance taker, and that if anybody could play that role of Lindy in Car Wash, who was a chance taker in life, his character, a survivor. You know, anybody who takes on a transgender or transsexual, or a role, is somebody who has a burning desire and to survive in a very hostile world to lifestyle, and still laugh and still find joy and also care about people. So that role was very special to me. And I can go on, and sometimes it's very difficult for me to choose a role over others, because I feel like every character was like my children, and it's hard for me to pick one over the other, because they're all special.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we have just spoken with the legendary and iconic Antonio Fargas of all the movies that we love, and now the new thing that we love, which is the New Jump Blues. And shout out to everyone in that band. The vocalists and musicians are awesome, and we'll be talking with you later, sir, as Skyline approaches.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon.